So I had ulnar nerve surgery, and so it was kind of after the season. I was getting ready for summer ball, getting ready to go down to Florida, and I was just long tossing and kind of had some nerve issues in there, and got to go see Dr. Fields, and he cleaned that up. And all he really did was just remove some fascia around that nerve, and he fixed everything up, and I've been 100% ever since.
So it wasn't something that bothered you last season.
No, it didn't really bother me last season at all. It wasn't until I was getting ready for summer ball and I just started having those nerve issues, and it was pretty much a minor surgery.
Alex, David from Rivals. Talk to me what it's like to catch, or the three projected starters in Jaden, Landon, and AJ. You know, kind of just give like a scouting report. What have you seen improvements from this year or from last year to this year amongst all three of the projected starters?
Yeah, I thought all three guys did very well last year. Jaden was a closer last year, and I know he got together with Anthony Renato this summer, and I felt like he's made a huge jump going from a closer to a starter role now this year. And man, I've seen a lot of improvement out of Jaden just from his curveball or slider. Uh, it, it's come a long way from last year. It was already really good, and he's done it so much harder, and it's got so much more depth on it. And I've seen Landon and AJ Levis take strides in their game too, just how they're pitching guys. And I think they just know themselves so well, and they're so mature on the mound. They really know how to throw to guys, and they know what they're trying to do with each pitch. So I'm really excited about all three guys this year.
Hey, Alex, you obviously came in last year as a true freshman and defensively was really kind of, one of the better players, like probably in the SEC from the catching standpoint. I mean, just talk a little bit about maybe some of the offensive improvements that you've been trying to make this offseason. How much have you been working with Eddie on, getting your swing right, and just kind of what are the strides you think you've made at the plate?
Yeah, so I think the biggest goal for me this year is just staying true to myself at the plate and staying true to my approach. And for me, it's about trying to drive line drives all over the field, mainly to the right side of the field. And really, the goal for me is just to be a scrappy grinder hitter at the plate. I don't want to be an easy out, eliminate as many strikeouts as possible. And I think hitting with Eddie Smith and really focus on hitting line drives, keeping the ball out there. That's going to be the biggest key for me this year is keeping the ball out there, hitting low line drives, and just being the best hitter I can for my team. And whether it's me having a bunt, hit and run, doing whatever I can at the plate, and really trying to execute.
Hey, Alex, Jared Brotman with the Reveille. We talked about these big rotation guys that we have, but we are going to have to see some development from these freshman pitchers with all the pandemic things and unpredictability of the season. What have you seen out of some of those freshman guys? Anybody stand out to you, or any nice progressions from anybody so far?
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked with the freshman class pitchers. I really didn't know much about them coming into the fall or the spring, and but man, they've really impressed me on the mound. The way some of those guys are able to handle themselves and pitch on the mound. I'm really excited about guys like Ty Floyd, Will Helmers, Javen Coleman, Blake Money. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of talent in this class as far as pitching goes and hitters. But I'm really excited to be able to work with the pitchers, and they've really impressed me this year.
Alex, another one of those guys we're talking about, the pitchers, Devin Fontenot, y'all's closer. Alan was saying last week that he's just seen such a progression from Devin over the years, and you've worked with him, I guess, about 2 years now. What have you seen in him this fall? How ready do you think he is to really step into the role of a true closer over the course of the season?
Yeah, I think the biggest change I've kind of seen in Devin was his mentality kind of change. I feel like now when he gets on the mound, he knows he's the guy. He knows he's got to go up there and throw strikes, and that's what I've seen out of him so far. I mean, I haven't caught many big league pitchers, but they got to be close to him, man. The way he's been throwing lately, He's just been commanding the fastball and his slider in the zone, and he's really been dominating lately. And I'm really excited about Devin Fontenot as well.
Any more questions for Alex?
Oh,
Good.
I've got one. Sorry.
Go ahead, Wilson.
Wait, what the hell was my question? Well, I'll ask this. I forgot what my original question was. But what if y'all have, have those benches out and down the bullpen to sort of space people out? What are some of the other protocols that are new this year that y'all have done to try to spread guys out and reduce the spread of the virus?
Yeah, so in the dugouts this year, they have labeled positions, and they got kind of labeled spots for guys. So of course, every time you get in the dugout, you got to put your mask on until you're hitting or running back onto the field. And we've really been Coach Maneri's been really strict about keeping your mask up at all times and social distancing at all times. And I think that's really important for us, because last thing you want to do is go into a weekend and be limited on infielders, outfielders, or pitchers. So I think it's really important that we follow these guidelines and try to be as safe as possible. That way, we're not missing guys going into any weekend games.
And then if I could ask another best okay real quick, you're already such a talented defensive catcher, but going into a second year with this full pitching staff, does that give you any sort of increased level of comfort going into the season, having already caught a lot of these guys for at least a bit of a time?
Oh yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for a catcher, is being able to know your staff and understand how their pitches work and what they're trying to do, and really how they want to approach hitters, and being able to work with AD and these guys last year, and then coming into this year with the same kind of rotation. I think it helps a lot just to understand what everybody's trying to do and how their pitches are working. So it definitely gives me more confidence catching these guys, because I feel like I know them so well, because I've been working with them for close to 2 years now.
Hey, Alex, one more for you. Are you worried at all about the energy lacking in the stadium this year with the limitation on capacity of fans and things like that? How much energy will you guys have to bring in to the box on the daily, on home games and things like that?
Yeah, I don't think anything changes. I think baseball's baseball at the end of the day. No matter if there's 20,000 people in the stadium, no people in the stadium, baseball's baseball. You got to bring your own energy every day. You can't, if you're relying on the crowd to bring the energy, then I don't think that's going to work very well for a lot of teams. So I think, going through the fall with not many people in the stadium, it's going to be a lot like that. And we really got to bring our own energy. And I think the guys have been doing very well at that in these scrimmages and whatnot. But I definitely think it's important to bring some energy to these games, and maybe even bring a little bit more with lack of attendance at Alex Box.